Rob Reiner is a man you have no doubt seen on television, complaining about Trump and whatever else the outrage of the hour is. Rob Reiner is a big-time movie director, and as I'm sure you are aware, making any sort of art means that you have a clear understanding of reality and a mandate to bring that understanding of reality to the masses.
Here you go, Bob. This is Mr. Valkyrie. He does all our Photoshop work.
As it turns out, Rob Reiner has been working on a movie, and it already came out. That's right, rather than promoting his upcoming film for the past year, he spent most of his time making his name known in the world of armchair politics. One of those Michael Moore types who tells other people what to believe and expects them to spend their time protesting in their name. If Rob Reiner had used his time to promote his work, perhaps he would be sitting in a better place after his new movie's opening weekend. Well, I'm not even sure any sort of marketing could have saved this movie, but I didn't even know it was coming out. This movie also seems to surround journalists in the Bush administration, which is a topic I'm not sure many people would be interested in. He could have definitely invested more time into making the movie better, as its Rotten Tomato scores are abysmal and first week's sales are pitiful. According to BoxOfficeMojo.com, Shock and Awe, Reiner's new film, came in at 38 on sales for the weekend. In contrast, Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation, was also in its opening weekend and made $44 million, sitting at number 1. Shock and Awe, however, only made $41,000, and it will only go down from there in the following weekends. They will be lucky if this movie breaks even, which I'm not even sure is possible considering Woody Harrelson is starring in the movie. Just the acting talent alone is going to cost much more than what they have made back already. If he's lucky, Reiner can repackage this movie and sell it on the foreign market, which is really the typical strategy of most filmmakers these days. To really give you an idea of how bad this movie flopped, there's a movie called 8th Grade, which was only shown in 4 theaters nationwide, and it managed to make $250,000. This is a movie with Tommy Lee Jones, Woody Harrelson, Mila Jovovich, or however you pronounce her name, and they couldn't even make $50,000 on opening weekend. That's gotta hurt. Next, we have the next big thing for Democrats. Since they have struggled to find their platform and to find people that can sympathize with their cause, whatever it might be, some clever people on the internet have discovered something that can benefit the Democrats in the upcoming elections. As you know, Vladimir Putin completely controls the election process of the United States, and all of our intelligence agencies are powerless to stop him from controlling the direction of our country. There is clearly only one way to stop him, and it is something that everyone should be able to agree on. We need to make sure there is no outside influence on the decisions of Americans. We need voter ID yesterday. Now is the time that we need comprehensive voter ID reform to ensure that Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin, the Russian government, and WikiLeaks won't be able to control the direction of America's future. If we don't pass common sense voter ID laws soon, we might be looking at a total of 8 years, or perhaps an entire lifetime, of Donald Trump in power. If ever there was a time to act to prevent these things from ever happening again, it would be now. In fact, you can see in this clip that I'm about to play how much it means to the entire American public that somebody buy into everything our officials tell us. Iraq never happened, right? We just need to accept everything that the authority figures tell us, except Trump, obviously. He's not an authority figure. Everybody else, though, we're supposed to just believe them, hook, line, and sinker. Every little word they say, every time they make an accusation, even if they don't bring forth any evidence. They find somebody from the intelligence community and then have them say the exact same thing that they just said, and then that means it's true. But anyway, I'm getting a little off course. Here's that clip. It's funny, this really reminds me of Evergreen. And next, we have George Soros, who has recently re-emerged into the public sphere.
It is pointless to resist, my son.
Clearly, I consider the Trump administration a danger to the world, but I regard it as a purely temporary phenomenon that will disappear in 2020 or even sooner.
In a glowing and lengthy article on the New York Times Magazine, George Soros is described as a billionaire philanthropist who is European at heart. It's a fairly long article, but there was just a little bit of it that I wanted to share with you. This is directly from the article, quote, "He barely acknowledged the audience, which included the president of Serbia and the prime minister of Albania, except to say, 'I think this is the right place to discuss how to save Europe.' Soros is going to save the West. Move over, Sargon. There's a new stepfather in town." You've likely seen more and more of Soros lately, as there are elections coming up and protests going on outside the homes of politicians 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. I can't imagine that they aren't paid protesters at this point, but who knows? Maybe they're just really, really good people that like to assemble groups and surround the private residence of a politician or a public servant. Yeah, they're the good guys. At least that's what they keep reminding me over and over and over again.